Here I am. Welcome back, guys. Oh my goodness. It's been a hot minute since I've been on Facebook, and I'm hoping that this is going to work out great. My reception was a little spotty when I got here, but I have faith. I have faith. Everything's going to work out just fine. Happy June. Oh my gosh, it's June. I bet a bunch of your kids are out of school. Yeah? My son doesn't get out of school until Friday, and today was my daughter's last day. Can't believe it's summer already. Half of the year is gone. Year of the fire horse, guys. Man, oh man. I will remember the year of the fire horse. The year of the fire horse. That will be forever burned into my memory. It was not the kind of fire horse energy that I thought was going to be brought in. I knew there was going to be movement. I felt it in my bones that things were going to happen this year. Boy, did they. Boy, did they. Boy, did they. So tonight's not a workshop. Tonight is not a lesson. It's more of a, hey, welcome back. So we transitioned over to TikTok for a month. I saw a few of you there. How did you like that? How many of you were able to get on there and check it out? They don't really have the replay, but they still have the option for me to save them. Not quite sure how that's going to work. Not going to lie, guys. It's been a busy year. And I have been extremely busy the last couple months. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to save those lives. But here's to hoping, because I just saw that I can open up TikTok on my laptop, which I hadn't tried yet. So maybe I can download them to my laptop. At some point, I will have a new phone with more storage. But that's not today. If you can't tell, we're out in nature. Welcome. For those of you who are watching from your couch, or if it's dark over there already, I've got like this much horizon to work with, so I think it'll be fine. Braden was telling me that the other night when he was out at like 9-ish, he still had some sunlight. It's cloudy. And it'll be fine. It'll be fine because I've got a cell phone. But yeah, I am at Riverfront. Do you want to see the river? We've got some nature. And the river. I'm hoping that it comes through a little bit in the microphone. I don't want it to like, tune me out, but the birds is tweeting. Can you hear them? I know I needed this. Oh gosh, I went camping last weekend. I definitely needed that. Oh my gosh. How you guys feeling? Oh, that's right. Facebook sucks at showing me the comments, and I'm sure there are some. If I had internet on my laptop, I would check them out. So, again, here's to hoping that I can see them. So, yeah, I had a completely different topic planned for tonight. It'll kind of cross over, I guess, a little bit. We'll see. But, yeah. Like I said, life happens, guys. Braden, oh my gosh, little birdie. Oh, man, my ADHD is going to kick in here. I also saw a snake. Like, 6 feet away from me when I was posting up in this spot. Also, side note, when I was posting up in this spot, there were quite a few little walkers and hikers. So I had to wait for them to pass. And I haven't seen any more recently, but who knew that this offshoot was going to be so trafficked? I was hoping I'd be out of the way. But it's a nice day. Everybody wants to go for a walk. Yeah, well. Yeah, anyways, so we had a live plan for tonight. We were going to do it on TikTok, and the plan is still to do it on TikTok when Braden is available. Oh my gosh, I see a comment. It's been a good day. Good. I'm glad. But Braden is not going to be available until midnight. And I wasn't even sure if I would be conscious enough to hold a TikTok live at midnight. So I decided to come back here and talk to you guys because I don't like canceling the same day. And that's okay. I can adjust. Life happens. So speaking of the live changing, because he told me, hi, Mom. Braden told me that he wasn't going to be available a little bit before 7 o'clock. And not just with changing the live, but literally with everything else. I like to plan. I like to know what's happening. I mean, I like surprises if I know it's a surprise. But even with a surprise, if it meant going somewhere, I would still want to make sure that things are taken care of at home, were those addressed, like planning trips away, figuring out what's going to happen with the kids. My kid had an MIP, what was it, last year in the fall. They're teenagers now. Like, they're self-sufficient, yeah. But, what about the unknowns? Mom brain just worries. I want to make sure that people are checking in on them. Yeah. So I saw this other TikTok that said that there are two types of people. There are list makers, and there are the people whose lives would fall apart without the list makers. And I think that was kind of funny because I mean, between Braden and I'm definitely the list maker. Now, I don't think his life would fall apart without me, but his presence online would definitely be different without me. Our lives would look different without me. Yeah, for sure. Like, I know that I like to take a ton of notes when it comes to informational lives, workshops. I like to have things there, the facts ready, so I don't misspeak and say something that's not factual if I'm trying to, put an educational live out there. Braden, on the other hand, he's definitely one that'll wing it. So which are you? Are you the list maker? Or are you the one whose world would fall apart without the list maker? Mom, I know you're a list maker. Oh my goodness. It's kind of funny too because I have another friend who is also an anxious person, but she takes planning to the extreme. And in that situation, I definitely would fall apart without her because she does all the planning that makes me feel like, oh my gosh, she has this. I'll be fine. If I go traveling with her, everything will be fine. There's going to be a backup plan. There will be a backup plan for that backup plan. Absolutely. But when plans change, I panic. Or timelines change. If timelines change, oh my gosh. Like, I saw this other TikTok. Gosh, you learn so much on TikTok. Connor DeWolf, I think is his name on TikTok. Oh my gosh, where was I going with this? And he makes a lot of ADHD videos, and I'm undiagnosed. I would say that I probably had a little bit of ADD. I don't think I have the hyperactivity, but also it's been well known that women go undiagnosed quite often. Doesn't matter because the information that I get from the ADHD videos and having an ADHD son anyways is very helpful. And a lot of the tactics that they use for ADHD really work for me. So it is what it is. But anyways, he was talking about how if they're, I think it's called task paralysis. So if I have 2 plans in the day, the bugs are coming out. I knew this was going to happen because it's getting warm. If I have 2 tasks to do that day, I can't make plans within a 30-minute window before or a 30-minute window after that plan. And I am mentally noting that. And sometimes, depending on, like, if somebody wants me to do something before that, I have to time it out in my head. And a lot of the times, I can't do much of anything because I know I have that task to do. So I just won't do anything until I get that task done, that appointment. And then once the appointment's over, then I'm free for the rest of the day. But if I had the 2 tasks to do and somebody wants me to do a third one, or it comes up that there's something important that needs to be done, so that adds 3 tasks for my day, that starts giving me anxiety. And I start mentally planning and I start Xing other things out, and now I really have to make it to that, and then I'm anxious about making it to that on time. I'm anxious to making it to things on time anyways. If it's a friend who I know isn't going to care too much, I've got like a 15-minute window leniency that I put on myself. And I like to let people know when I'm going to be late. So if it's coming up on that time and I don't have the ability to let them know, it really bothers me and it makes me feel more rushed. So now I have to speed to my destination, and then I get frustrated and I get angry. So then I get irritable. And yeah, so it really bothers me when the timeline shifts. Do any of you else feel that? Have you heard of task paralysis? Do you think that you've experienced it before, or you know somebody who has? I'm pretty sure I'm saying it right, that it is task paralysis. Or like having a giant thing to do in front of you that it's just overwhelming, so you can't do. That sounds more like task paralysis. Anyways, Connor DeWolf is a great guy to look up on TikTok. He makes some awesome videos, and I have definitely saved a ton of them when it comes to figuring out how to work with ADHD in my son. It's been super awesome. I've learned a lot of cool tricks. It gives me a lot more understanding. So, Braden's not here, and Braden was going to be here. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say it or not, but he's not in Texas, and he's not heading to Texas yet. So that's changed. And that kind of bothered me too, you know? Speaking of having things in order and whatnot, I wasn't sure if I was going to move back to Facebook or if I was going to stay on TikTok. I was also thinking about moving to Discord. I have a group set up there, and I thought of sending an invite and maybe transitioning the group over there. But I just don't want to lose you guys. I really like being available, especially to the people who came here intentionally. And TikTok is great for advertising because I get a lot more people who aren't in the group or who haven't heard of us. But this is OG. This is where I started. So I'm probably going to stay here when Braden moves. Yep, I think so. I think when Braden moves, I'm going to stay here and I'll still do my lives here. I'll probably go back to 7 o'clock. And then I'll just jump on TikTok with Braden on occasion whenever he decides to do it. That's probably what I'm going to do. Thanks, Zach. Thanks. Look at that. Work it out Wednesday. I worked it out. So have you ever had a plan completely fall apart? Just you planned and you had a backup plan for your your backup plan. And then if that didn't fall through, but then plan F happened and you only planned to plan D. That's what happened to me last week or the week before. Either way, that happened recently. Holy cow, guys. Ugh. So, like when we go camping, yeah. Almost every time we go camping, we forget something. And I have definitely made it a point to be very adaptable. That's something that I pride myself in, is being a very adaptable person when it comes to working with things, jobs, and especially in life, because my life has been so chaotic and spontaneous. And I like that. I like that. I like the ability to adapt and mold to things that happen instead of letting it make me super anxious. Even though there's still things that do. Like plans changing. As I talk about being so adaptable. Like I am adaptable. Like when it comes to camping and we forget things. It's like, I'm not driving back. We're going to have to figure something out. But man, is it stressful. So I was planning my son's birthday. And I had planned a double date. Because he has a girlfriend and his sister has a boyfriend. And I was going to do a double date for them. And, you know, I was going to take him to dinner. I was going to take him to a movie. And I had it all planned out. I'm not going to jump ahead on myself. So I planned for that. And then as time went on, I hadn't heard from the parents on if their significant others could come or not. And I started making a backup plan. I figured something like this might happen, but I had 2 weeks notice. So I was hoping with just 2 other kids, it would be easy to make these plans, but it wasn't. I didn't hear back from the second parent until like 2 days before the party. And at that point, I was already planning for one of them to be a third wheel, which would be fine because I'd be there to chaperone, and then I could just make it something intimate with me and the other kid whose significant other couldn't be there. But then plans changed. And I went to the backup plan. And then plans changed again. So I made another backup plan. And then the day of the birthday party, I am heading out to location because we're not going to dinner and a movie, but I did purchase movie tickets for my kids. And then that changed. And I'm setting up the party, and then plans change again. So I'm adjusting, and it's my kid's birthday. I'm trying to make it, it's going to be great. I have a scavenger hunt planned. We're still going to the movies. We have a barbecue. Friends are coming. And then family's coming. And then other people who weren't going to come could come. And then I barely had enough time to set up the scavenger hunt. And it was at a park. And there were a lot of other people there. And there were 2 other birthday parties there. So I'm setting up the clues. And I've got my oldest kid helping me. And I'm really hoping that he can hide the clues away from the other kids. But it happened. Some of the other kids on the playground got some of the clues. And so the clues didn't go right. Like, oh, first of all, my oldest kid didn't understand the concept of a scavenger hunt. Like he gets how to participate in one, but he didn't understand hiding with clues. So you have the first clue, which leads you to the next clue, which leads you to the next clue. Well, the clue that he hid on the answer to the clue. So it was still fun for the kids, but it didn't work out the way it was supposed to. And by the end of the birthday party, there were 2 kids that were crying, and there was some drama that happened, and at the end, I just wanted to go home. I just wanted to be done with the party. I had forgotten to open up gifts. I'd forgotten to do the birthday cake. At the end, I did remember to do the birthday cake and the presents, but Lucius's girlfriend made him a really cool handmade gift, and she didn't get to watch him open it because I had forgotten about the gifts to do that part of the birthday party. So it was stressful. But taking the kids to the movies afterwards was super awesome because it was just me and the kids, and it was very relaxing. I didn't have to do anything. We had snacks. When you buy the tickets ahead of time, like you can buy the soda and the popcorn and stuff. And that was super cool. It was super cool. And what I didn't know is that when you purchase the large package or whatever, you get free refills. So the kids had 5 refills on their popcorn on one movie, on the big popcorn bucket. Holy cow. So that was super awesome. It made me feel really good. It made me excited for the kids because they got to eat their heart out on the popcorn. But it was stressful. It was stressful because plans kept changing. And I feel like I don't know. I don't feel like a lot of people talk about the middle part. They talk about the beginning. They talk about the breakthrough and the success, but it's not talked about. The uncertainty of being stuck in the middle isn't talked about as much. The waiting, the uncertainty, the not knowing. And I feel like the reality is a lot of what happens in the middle, when all that is happening. So what part of your life feels unfinished? What do you feel that you are currently waiting for clarity on? Like Braden's transition to Texas not going the way that he planned. Life and not knowing where I'm going to transition, or I feel like patience is a big thing, like waiting for things to unfold. If you don't know what to do yet, then sitting and observing is what you're supposed to do. That's what they say. And I don't like that. It makes sense, and I have to talk myself through that a lot when we're in the middle, when we're in the liminal space and we don't know what to do, or limbo. And I feel like the last 3 months of my life have been like that, being stuck in the middle, a transition period. Gosh, that year of the fire horse, that really irks me. Being in the middle, being stuck in the uncertainty. Like, how frustrating and irritating is that? Just wait. Just let things unfold. As things unfold, then you'll know what to do. Wait until there is something to do. Yeah? Okay. Well, as I sit here and anxiously wait for the next thing to do, I'm going to try not to binge watch TV. I'm going to try and do something productive. But the whole time you're just sitting there thinking and wondering and playing stories in your head. Like, humans hate uncertainty. They just do. It feels safer knowing what's coming. And it's hard to not know. Would you rather know a painful truth or not know? Gosh, I just watched a movie the other day, and that was one of the big things themes in the movie. It was like knowing what would you like to know, what God knows. Wouldn't that make life boring? Taking away the surprise? To have the infinite knowledge. What was that? Have you seen Lucy, where they take a pill and it opens up your brain, and then she becomes like a computer? She can instantly translate things. She could, the trajectory of things, she could plan that out, know where to jump, when to jump. It does sound boring. Don't need to know everything, but I would like to know some things. Why do you think that uncertainty creates so much anxiety? For me, I feel like, as a list maker, as someone who likes to plan things, my mind goes to, well, what if this happens? I would prefer to be prepared for the bad things that might happen, the unknowns, the uncertainties. There are some things that you could predict, like traveling and, having your tires inflated, checking your oil, making sure that your car is roadworthy for a trip. Gosh, that's one of my big worries. I'm not a mechanic. That's why I don't like to travel further than 2 hours. 2 hours is like tops, man. An hour I can travel comfortably. That's not too far away. I feel like I wouldn't burden anybody by asking them to come save me an hour away. But like 5 hours away and my car breaks down, do I have the finances to be towed? Does my insurance cover that? Oh my gosh, what kind of plan do I have? What would happen? Would I be able to call them? What if I'm not in cell service? Gosh, I don't like to not be prepared for the unknowns. How worry can manifest issues. Are you talking about like if you say the bad things, then you jinx yourself? Manifestation? Or worrying yourself so much and making yourself sick for nothing when it's probably going to be fine? Because I definitely try to predict outcomes before they happen. I play things over in my head. I end up like big confrontations with people that I care about. You don't want to hurt their feelings, so I'm pre-planning what I'm going to say in my head and trying to find ways to phrase the things that I want to say in a manner that doesn't hurt their feelings. So if I talk it out with myself, then I'll be better able to enunciate when we're having the conversation. But also replaying it and replaying it and replaying it in my head and having that conversation so many times, you're also like emotionally making your body live through that conversation over and over again. So you are stressing yourself out. But, hey, Whitney. Hey, Rally. Also, you don't want to stress yourself out. Hey, hubby. So, like, if somebody hasn't texted me back yet, when somebody doesn't text you back and they wait, or if they leave you on red, I have worked through that in like the dating field. I got really anxious when people wouldn't message me back, and I'd play things over in my head. I'm too much. Maybe it's something I said. Or when you have a tough conversation with a friend and they open your message, but they didn't reply. Oh my gosh, they're mad. They're so mad. They're so mad at me. And then I find myself wanting to apologize or wanting to further explain in detail what I meant. because maybe they didn't understand it right. Or when your boss says they want to talk to you in the office. Did I do anything wrong? I'm replaying things in my head. Is there something that I've done recently? My mind never goes to, oh, it's probably something good. And that's something to practice. But it's hard. It's hard. So I find myself catching myself in those heightened emotions. So when I don't get the text back or I'm left on red in situations like that, I catch myself. I catch myself even now being stuck in the uncertainty. I catch myself, okay, this is a big emotion that doesn't need to be placed here. I go straight to fire. That's awful. That's awful. That's heightened anxiety. Oh my goodness. But I catch myself when I feel that heightened emotion, and I feel like it's a big reaction to something, thank gods, that I am not sure of yet. And then I have to, like a child, talk myself down. Like, hey, Whitney, you don't know that that's going to happen. It's okay. Even if that does happen, even if you do get fired, it'll be okay. You can find another job. It's not the end of the world. But it might take time, and then I'll lose out on money, and what if bills, and this and that. Like, it's okay. You don't even know that that's going to happen. It's okay. You don't need to freak out. A little bit of anxiety is okay in this given situation, but you don't know yet, and that's okay. It is scary. It is scary when you don't know. And then it's like that whole, let the things play out, wait for things to unfold. Yes, but at the same time, I'm wrestling with my anxiety. What if I did get fired? What if I'm getting written up? What if somebody complained about me? Did I do anything recently that somebody could complain about? Oh my gosh. And then I need to pre-plan answers for those things. And that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But it makes sense. I laugh about it later. Anxiety sucks. Yes, it does. But the more that I tell myself that it's okay to have anxiety, that it's natural, and the more that I recognize, okay, so let me put it like this. Go away. I did. Oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure I just squished a freaking mosquito in my eyelashes. This is ridiculous. But I haven't gotten bitten yet, and that's awesome. I am super thankful for that. So we're not going to complain. But, oh my gosh, what was I saying? So personally, I've found that the more that I recognize when I am having anxiety, the moments where anxiety is rearing its head, and I address it then, it's gotten easier. So, like I was saying, when I find that I'm having anxiety, or I'll just say heightened emotions, when I'm feeling really, really sad, or really, really mad, or super anxious, or I can feel the anxiety building up, I catch myself and I try to pinpoint what emotion it is and what I'm reacting to. And then I try to logic in my mind, is this logical, or is this a reaction? And then what reaction, on the scale of 1 to 10, where should I be reacting here? Are you speaking directly to me? Because I was just having a moment in my kitchen and then finally got out of it. I don't know what, but yeah, like for probably a good half an hour having a moment crying in my, well, show me the rest. Yeah, girl, I'm speaking to you. I am absolutely speaking to you. All the girlies with anxiety, all the boys with anxiety. Everybody with anxiety. I think everybody has anxiety. It's just, some of us, our reactions are a little bit over the top sometimes, and we're learning. We're learning. There's a reason that your anxiety is that heightened. There are things that have happened in your life. You are in my kitchen. Okay. That your brain is picking up. Your brain picks up the patterns. And you learn how to react to things from a young age growing up. So when you were a kid and you felt really anxious, why? Can you think of a moment in your childhood where you felt really anxious? You might not have been able to pinpoint it back then and recognize that it was anxiety, but like being scared of the dark when the lights turn off. Like, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, when I shut the lights off, I hurry up and I run to my bed and I jump up there because something was going to grab my feet. There was a boogeyman under my bed. It didn't matter whether I believed in the boogeyman. There was something watching me under my bed. Yeah. And for a moment, like crying in your kitchen, girl. I can definitely relate. Okay, if I bring to mind yesterday morning, I woke up my kid, and he's been doing really good at getting up in the morning. So I go back to bed for 30 minutes while he's supposed to be getting dressed and hanging out. And then when he gets done getting dressed, he likes to jump on the video game or on YouTube and watch some movies and hang out before we leave. So I get up after 30 minutes, and he had fallen back asleep. So we had like 15 minutes for him to hurry up and get dressed and get out the door. And if I'm being honest, this is an issue with my boys, period. So logically, Whitney shouldn't be doing that. Whitney should be giving herself some extra time in the morning. And I know that. But I'm tired. I didn't get enough sleep the night before. And it was too late to be taking any sleep meds. So I think I got like 5 hours of sleep. As somebody who prefers 9 to 10 hours of sleep, I would much prefer. Like, I'm the one that goes and takes the kids to school and then comes back home and goes back to bed. If it works. That doesn't always work. But either way. So we were in a time crunch, and I ended up yelling at him for falling back asleep. I am proud of myself for not letting my anger get the best of me, because I was super ticked. I'm not a morning person. And I know that, and that's my issue. But that's not how I like to start my morning with my kids. I don't want to yell. And I've been working on it really hard, and I've done a really good job at dialing it back. But it got me going because we were late. So I was in a time crunch. And then I got him in the car, and then on the way to school, there's traffic. I have road rage, guys. Being honest, I have a road rage, and I'm working on that too. But I was already irritated, so I'm driving to school, and I'm really worried about being late, because if you're not on time, he rides the bus. So I'm trying to get to the place where the bus is supposed to be, and if I miss the bus, then I have to drive his butt all the way across to the other side of town. So why am I going to be driving all the way over to this side of town just to drive all the way back to this side of town? I didn't want to have to do that. So I got there on time, and then I got really mad at myself because I made it 5 minutes before the bus got there, and the bus was late by like 3 minutes. So I was frustrated with myself for getting upset, for letting myself yell at my son. I was frustrated with having the road rage and driving like a biatch. When I know that I drive fast anyways, so given the time that I left my house, I was pretty sure I was going to make it on time. But I know that I don't know how long the bus is going to wait. What if I'm on time and he was already there and he waited a couple minutes and then decided to leave? And you know what? I am recognizing that I have that same anxiety when I rode the bus, because I've missed the bus several times. And I got really anxious if I woke up late for school, because In high school, I didn't live near the school. Um, in elementary school and middle school, I was just a couple blocks away from the school. But in high school, if I walked, I was definitely going to be late. And that's not okay. That is not okay. I will get in trouble for that. I don't know why I thought I would, but I definitely thought I would get in trouble for that. And I knew that my parents would be mad at me if I had to wake my dad up because my mom was already at work. I'd have to wake my dad up, who works the night shift, and ask him to take me to school. And he'd be mad. And I might get in trouble for just having done that. Woof. I think there's a lot of projection there with my own kids, especially with this bus situation. Dude, kids just need to get up to their alarm. You know what, Whitney? Okay. I think it's just boys. Because I have sisters. I grew up with just sisters. I didn't have any brothers. And my middle sister was real bad at getting up, but I was always in charge of getting her up as the big sister anyways. And my baby sister didn't have an issue getting to school. She was a good kid. But I have 3 boys. I have 3 boys. And my oldest boy is just like his father. He does not wake up. They're hard sleepers. We got him an alarm. We got him an alarm that moved. So we put, like, when the alarm goes off, it's got wheels. I forget what it's called. I think it's clocky or something. But it has wheels and it'll move at you. And it'll fall. And we had that one. Gosh, I don't know how many alarms I've gotten my oldest kid. But for some reason, they break. Or they get unplugged. And he forgot to reset it. But he sucks at waking up to alarms. And I did. I got Lucius an alarm too. I've gotten him 2 different alarms, and he just doesn't wake up. He is such a hard sleeper. Like, even just waking, both of them, they just don't wake up. It's like, Lucius, 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 wake up! Huh? What? Get up! It's time to get ready for school. Okay. So sit up. Lucius, sit up. Okay. And he'll get up on his elbows. I'm like, no, you need to sit all the way up. I'm going. All right, come on, get up, buddy. And then he'll sit up. And then about half the time, he just lays back down and falls back asleep. And it was the same thing with my oldest kid. I had to make him stand up at one point. All right, stand up all the way. Nope, on your feet. I don't want to. Nope, you fall back asleep. I'm so sick and tired of you falling asleep. I did a squirt bottle thing one time. Love taps. Yeah. No, I can't do love taps. I know how I am in the morning. And what if those love taps don't feel like love taps? I could do like feet tickles, maybe. God forbid they kick me, though. Oh my gosh. Early in the morning? No, that would piss me off. Nope. I just flip on the light. I might go back to a squirt bottle if they're not waking up, and I've told them that. But no, lately Lucius has been waking up really well. So it was just frustrating the other night. But so the point of my story was that when I got back home, I felt super guilty. I felt guilty on the way back from dropping him off at the bus because I didn't need to get mad. I didn't need to get mad because I was there early before the bus, and I told him I love him, and I put on his playlist when we were going to school, so his music was playing. And I did apologize to him for yelling, and he apologized for falling back asleep, which made me feel worse. So when I got home, technically on the way home, this song by Pink, I shared it on Facebook. What was it called? Gosh, it's gonna drive me nuts. You might give yourself away, pay full price for each mistake. When the candy coating hides the razor blades. What's the name of that song? You know it. You know it. Tell me. You can cut yourself loose and use that rage. Something about I wish I would have known. Gemini, what is it? What I know right now. Come on, help me. You might give yourself away, pay full price for each mistake. Oh my gosh. It's Pink. That's all I got. Yeah. Anyways, it's giving advice to your kids if you don't know this song. And Pink is talking to her daughter Willow. And well, first of all, I freaking love Pink. Pink is my idol. All I know so far. Thank you. Thank you. That's all I know so far. So she's giving advice and saying that's all I know so far. This is what I've learned. She's my freaking idol. She is a hard-ass bitch who don't take no shit from nobody. And she dresses the way she wants. She speaks from her heart. And she's just everything that I wanted to be. When I was going through my divorce and I felt like I had completely lost myself, her music got me through the rough parts of my marriage, the rough parts of life, period. Gosh, I found her in middle school. I saw her music video on MTV. Fucking perfect. Yeah, fuck perfect. But yeah, so that song was playing on the radio anyways, and or not the radio, it was playing through my speakers anyways on the way home, and I started crying, and I made it home, and I was irritated, so I slammed the door because I was mad at myself, and I opened up the fridge to eat a bagel, and the kids ate my bagel. I have cream cheese sitting in the fridge, and I don't have a bagel to put it on, and I'm just so upset at myself, at the world, at everything. I'm upset at myself for overreacting. So my point is, when I feel those big emotions that come up and I notice it, I have to tell myself that this is happening. Whitney, it's okay. It's okay that you're feeling mad, angry, sad. It's okay. Like, no, I shouldn't feel this much. This is silly. We were early to the bus. I don't need to be upset. I don't need to be sad. Like, I already told him I'm sorry. And he said it was fine. And I played his music. Like, why are you freaking out? It's all right. You know what? But you don't have to know why, Whitney. Like, logically, we know that things happen. Emotions get big. And feelings happen. You can't stop the feelings. You can't stop them. You just have to allow it to pass through your body. I know, just let it pass through my body, but I don't want to feel it. Like, God, why can't I just have a normal morning? I'm so sick and tired of all the irritated mornings. I'm sick and tired of feeling irritated in the morning. Are you? Because if you were really sick and tired of it, then you would have given yourself more time in the morning to do it. To do the whole waking up process. And make it pleasant for yourself. Set yourself up for success, right? Yeah, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. I shoulda, coulda, woulda. But when I'm going through it, it's easier to do when I'm by myself. Because when the kids are around, especially my oldest, because he's home, it's harder to do. Or like when you're at work, it's harder to do. But practice. It doesn't make perfect, but it makes it feel more manageable to me. So when it was happening and I was feeling like throwing things and slamming doors and gosh, I have anger issues and I work on them. It's something I live with and it's okay. I know other people have it too. I know other people can relate. And I know that it's not taboo. It feels taboo. Anger feels taboo. It just does. You're not supposed to have big emotions. You're not supposed to get loud, mad, angry. Says who? Society? So? You know what's appropriate. You've seen other people have outbursts. And if, especially during those times, like when I see other moms in the store and they're getting mad with their kids and maybe they yell at them. Maybe they tell them to sit their ass down in the cart. Is like societally acceptable? Maybe not. Maybe a lot of moms are looking like, hey, should I call CPS? Gosh, don't yell at your kid. I've been there. I've felt that. Having all the kids by yourself, going grocery shopping, and they keep touching everything, and they keep trying to put things in the cart, and they keep asking questions when you're trying to remember the list that you forgot. So now you just have to like remember all the things that you're supposed to get, and you've got kids that you're trying to rally. Yeah, it gets really frustrating. I've had those big emotions in the grocery store, and I definitely have felt like I can't be angry in a grocery store because people are watching. So you gotta know that other people feel that too. Those big emotions. And that it's taboo to have big emotions, period. Like you suffer from anxiety. You suffer from anger issues. Like, no, you don't. At least to me, it doesn't sit right with me to do that. I live with anxiety, and we're becoming better friends. I live with anger, because we all do. And I'm becoming better friends with the little anger monster in me. There is a righteous anger. So I recognize the more that I pinpoint those big emotions when they happen, I'm anxious, which means I'm probably scared or I'm worried. And so anxiety came up and was like, hey, we need to make sure that all these things happen, and we're worried about this. You know, last time something like this happened, bad things happened, Whitney. We need to be prepared. Okay, thank you, anxiety. I don't need to prepare as much as I used to, but if I did a little bit of preparation, it would probably feel better, right? Okay. So here are some things that I could do to manage the anxiety that isn't so overwhelming and gigantic to do. Same thing with the anger. So coming home and freaking out in the kitchen, being all angry. Music. I put on a little bit of music. I smoked a little bit. And I told myself that I did better than I did before. I have had worse freakouts in the morning, being overwhelmed and anxious and just everything all at once. Road rage, school. Who knows? I tripped a bunch. I forgot something. Kids were arguing. I yelled more before, and I didn't this time. And I'm super glad that I didn't. And I'm super glad that I was able to rein myself in and be angry about waking him up, but not unleashing the anger on him. I did tell him that he shouldn't have to wake him back up again, and that's why I make him sit up, and it's really frustrating. So I didn't tell him that I was pissed off at him. I told him that I was frustrated. So he knew I was irritated and that I wasn't angry at him. And he probably still felt like I was angry at him a little bit, but I was frustrated about feeling rushed or feeling like we need to rush now. And that makes me feel a lot better. Where's the Oh, yeah. So, I feel like the stories that we tell ourselves create the reality that we're feeling, that we're living in. Yeah? Do you think so? Or do you think that what you visually see creates the reality that you live in? This was a little bit of the topic that we had planned for TikTok. And so I'm kind of excited to dig into it a little bit. So, when we have missing information, and we have to fill in the gaps. I feel like the stories that we're telling ourselves suddenly become an entire movie, and we're living them, and that is our reality. I feel like that pertains a lot to anxiety, at least for me. A lot of the stories that I tell myself when I'm feeling super anxious definitely make me more anxious, and I can bring myself back down by telling myself a different kind of story. So, is it the stories and the narration in our head that creates our reality? Or are we reacting to the story that we've created about our reality? Ooh, ooh. Because that's a lot of what irritates me about my morning crap. You know, I tell myself that if I gave myself more time, it would be easier for me. But I also don't like waking up super early in the morning. But I have to get my kid to his bus stop at 6:50, so it means we gotta wake up at like 5:30 ish, 5:15 ish, and that's really early, especially for someone who likes to go to bed at like 10, 11, midnight, sometimes 4 o'clock. That used to be a thing, but lately, staying up past midnight is hard to do. And if I find myself up past midnight, that's because I'm having issues falling asleep. And then I get to a point around midnight. If I haven't been able to fall asleep, then I just can't go to bed. So now I have to purposely make myself go to bed. And I can't do that with sleep aids that late in the night. So I gotta find other ways, like, okay. So when uncertainty shows up, most people don't actually seek answers, they seek control, especially when it comes to anxiety. I hear a lot of my anxiety babes focusing on control because that alleviates the anxiety. If I can control this, then I won't feel the way that I don't want to feel. Bad things won't happen if I can control the outcome, right? If I just let me do it, okay? I can't have somebody else plan my stuff. What about the X, Y's, and Z's that you didn't check up on? How am I going to know that those things are taken care of unless I just do it myself? Otherwise, I'm just going to be asking you the same questions again and again. You know, just let me do it. Like driving. If you are in a relationship, who's driving? I thought that was kind of funny because in my parents' relationship, if my parents were together, my dad always drove. And that bothered my mom, but she didn't want to drive at night and she didn't want to drive. I don't actually know. Mom, are you still watching? Why didn't you drive? Why weren't you driving, Mom? And then I noticed in my first marriage that anytime we were driving, well, there was a lot of control issues there, but he was always the one driving. And in my current relationship, I would prefer to be the one driving. I just would. It's ridiculous. It's funny for me to think on because I think I'm pretty adaptable and spontaneous, but I certainly thrive on my routines. I do. So if depending on where we're going, I have a route in my head. If we're going to Walmart, I'm probably going to take Central up and then go down and take the little turn into Walmart that way on the west end. If I'm going to Braden's house, I'm going to go up Broadwater and then hit 24th and go that way. I'm definitely not going up Grand, and I'm definitely not going up Central. Broadwater is one of my favorite streets to drive up when I'm going to the west end. Or if I'm going to Winco. If I'm going to Winco, I have to drive up Central. Why else would I go any other way? You could go up Monad. Why not take Monad, Whitney? You could take Monad to to Walmart, I could. And sometimes I do take Monac. I definitely don't take King. And God forbid that my husband's driving and he takes a different road than I would. That bothers the crap out of me. Like internally, I'm like, you were supposed to go straight. You didn't go straight. You're taking a different route. Where are you going? Are we still going to Walmart? Did you forget that we're going to Walmart? And it's just because I routinely drive the same way to the places that I go. I just do. I have a route that makes sense in my mind, and I can't tell you how like soothing it is in my head. I just have a map in my head, and this is the way that I go. And when you deter from it, it's like the GPS is recalculating. What are we doing? You missed your turn, or you took the wrong turn. It's veering from routine. So control. I know there are certain points that I like to have control. It's not necessary to do it, and it's something that I wrestle with. And I say wrestle with because I have my claws dug into some things, like driving. There are some times where I would just really prefer to drive. I don't like driving at night. So if we don't have to, I prefer not to go at night. But if we are and you're driving, I'm not sleeping. I'm watching. And I'm watching when we hit the rumble strip, and I'm watching for deer, and I'm watching to make sure that we stay on that course that is in my head. That's where we're supposed to go. It's silly. I think it's silly. And I get frustrated with myself for it. So I try to retract my claws a little bit. Overthinking, planning, research, analyzing, predicting. Because we all predict what's coming. And maybe we'll feel safer. So what's something that you've tried really, really hard to control? Where's your control issue at? Is it the driving thing? I find that when I'm cooking with my kids too, I try not to make a giant mess. And it's kind of funny because I have made it a thing, a huge thing, to not freak out when the kids make messes. When they were little. When kids throw food and stuff, or if they drop a cup and it makes a mess. I'm pretty sure I saw it on a video or something, but it was pointed out somewhere along the way, and it stuck out in my head that freaking out over spilt milk is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Why would you freak out on a kid for dropping a cup of milk? Like they did it on purpose. And even if they did, at a young age, at like 4 or 5, why are we going to get mad about that? Because that creates anxious adults. So then when you drop something, you're over apologizing. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do it. I'm so sorry. It just slipped. I'm so sorry. That was the thing in my first marriage. Would get real upset about the messes. And it was something that I went against. And you get down and you show the kid, it's okay. Oh, look at that. You made a big mess. It's funny. The puddle of milk kind of looks like a rabbit, doesn't it? Well, what do we do when we make a mess? We find a towel and we clean it up. We clean up our messes. That's right. So how are you going to clean up a big puddle of milk? Are you going to get a sponge? No, a sponge is too small for this, isn't it? We're going to get a towel. All right, so we go get the towel and we clean it up. That was really important to me. But funny enough, when it comes to cooking with my kids now at this stage, even when I was cooking with them, I have this we're supposed to do it like this. Okay, you mix the ingredients. Yep, now we have the eggs. Okay, we cracked the eggs. Okay, just, you know what? Let me crack the egg. All right, now you can stir. Good job, you're stirring. Can I add this? Can I add that? Oh no. It's dust, guys. The mosquitoes are coming out. That's twice now. I have a little bit of control when it comes to the baking. At this stage in life, I was better about doing creative stuff when the kids were little, but I am tired and old. My patience has waned, but it is definitely stretched in other areas. I think with all the mosquito attacks, I'm gonna probably be wrapping it up here soon. How are you guys doing today? How was your week? Are you happy about coming back to Facebook? Would you prefer the lives on Facebook, or do you have another app that you would enjoy watching the lives on? There's a possibility to do the lives on YouTube. I could go live on YouTube. I could go live on Discord. I could go live on TikTok and Facebook. Just curious, crowdsourcing. What's up, Iris? Girl, I've seen your pictures on your vacations. It looks like you're having a blast. All your gorgeous little summer photos. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Next week, you like Facebook? Maybe I can convince Braden to come back to Facebook for the time being that he is still here and he hasn't left for Texas yet. I might just talk him into it for next week. We'll see. I do miss you guys. And I think I'll probably stick to Facebook. I'll definitely be here. I might go live in other places, but I don't know. I like our group therapy sessions. And I like my group. I like my groupies. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. Thanks, Iris, Gemini, Rick, Lisa, Whitney, Lee. You guys have a good rest of your night. I'm going to get out of the mosquito area. I'm going to go get something to eat. Yeah. Oh, I got leftovers. I'm going to eat. That's what I'm going to do. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Thanks for coming. Happy welcoming back. Woo. Okay. All right. I'm done. Love you guys.